Meanwhile, Simba was far away from the Pride Lands. The ground turned dry and cracked beneath him. The hot sun beat down as the vultures circled above his head. Exhausted and unable to go any farther, Simba slumped to the ground. After a long while, Simba awoke. Everything around him looked different. There was trees and grass and flowers instead of desert. A meerkat named Timon and a warthog named Pumbaa had brought him to their home. "You nearly died," said Pumbaa. "You nearly died," said Pumbaa. "We saved you," cried Timon, thanking them. Simba stood up and started to leave. Pumbaa asked Simba where he was from, but Simba didn't want to answer. "I did something terrible, but I don't want to talk about it. You've got to put your troubles behind you, kid," said Timon. "No past, no future, no worries. Hakuna Matata." Simba decided to stay with his new friends. Years passed and Simba grew up and had lots of fun with his friends, Timon and Pumbaa. One night, while looking up at the stars, Simba remembered that his father's words. "Someone once told me that the great kings in the past are up there watching over us," he said to his friends. The next day, Pumbaa was chasing a bug when a furious lioness came. Pumbaa was being chasing. Lioness sprang at him from the tall grass. He screamed and ran away, but got stuck beneath a fallen tree. "She's gonna eat me!" he squealed. Simba heard his friends cry and rushed to help. Simba wrestled with the lioness, but then realized she was his old friend. "You're alive," she said happily. "That means you're the king." Simba and Nala ran across the grassy fields, chasing each other and playing among the birds. They talked about the things they had missed when they were apart. Nala telling Simba how Scar had destroyed the Pride Lands. "Simba, if you don't do something, everyone will starve." I can't go back, Simba said Simba angrily, and he turned and walked away. Simba thought about what Nala had said. "I won't go back," he said to himself. "I won't change anything." Just then Simba heard a chanting song from the jungle. Rafiki the baboon came, walking towards them. "If you want to see your father again, look down there," Rafiki said, pointing into the pool of water next to them. Simba saw the face of his father staring back at him. "You see," said Rafiki, "he lives in you." Now Simba looked up and saw his father's face in the stars, and heard his voice. "Look inside yourself, Simba. Remember who you are. You are my son and the one true king." The next morning, found Nala, Timon, and Pumbaa, he told them that Simba had returned to the Pride Lands. He's gone back to challenge his uncle, cheered Nala, and she, Timon, and Pumbaa ran to catch up with him. When Simba reached to the Pride Lands, he was saddened by what he saw. His homeland, that was once green and beautiful, had turned barren under Scar's rule. His friends found him, and they bravely continued on the journey. When Simba arrived at Pride Rock, he let out a roar that shook the earth. Scar was surprised and frightened. He thought the hyenas killed Simba a long time ago. "This is my kingdom," shouted Simba. "Step down, Scar." Scar ordered his hyenas to attack. They surrounded Simba and drove him to the edge of a cliff. Simba grabbed onto the rocks with his claws as Scar stood above him. "That's just the way your father looked before he died," admitted Scar. Then Simba realized that it had been Scar who killed his father. With new strength, Simba lunged onto the rock and attacked and battled Brook out on Pride Rock. This time, Simba trapped Scar at the steep edge of Pride Rock, spraining his life. He ordered his uncle to run away and never return. Scar pretended to leave, but then it turned and lunged at Simba. Simba swiped his great claws, and Scar fell to his death in the gorge below. Simba took his rightful place as the Lion King, and once again the land flourished. Soon all the animals gathered at Pride Rock to celebrate the birth of Simba and Nala's cub. The circle of life would continue. The end.